Mayor, council members, standing in tonight for Chief Davis. He's a little under the weather. Do keep him in your prayers. Only have a few items. There is a new grant that the Division of Fire Safety has put out that we are able to actually apply on the fire and EMS side. It's they're both $40,000 grants. They're 50-50 matching, but we are able to use past purchases from May of 20 up till now to be able to make our match. So I'd just like permission to be able to apply for those with what we've already spent, so we wouldn't be out anymore to be able to apply for that.
Second.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right.
And then just want to give you a little update on Station 2. They have gotten some of the concrete poured. The rest of it is supposed to be poured in the morning for the living quarters. And they're looking for just a few more weeks, and then the skeleton of the building will be built.
That's good news.
That's good.
Rescue 1 was put in service today. That was our vehicle that was purchased. So if y'all see that out, that's what that is now. It took place of our Squad 51, which 51 will go back to its intended purpose for technical rescue situations. And then I need to believe in the fire committee meeting we set next Monday at 6:30 for a fire committee meeting. And the only other thing is I need to ask for a closed session, unless y'all have any questions.
Interviews. We gotta do interviews.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for
Thank you.
making these reports to us.
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Human resources.
We'll be having a meeting quickly. We'll send information out on when we choose to do it. Thanksgiving week is probably not the best week in the world to do it, but
Yeah.
as quick as we can after that.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Tina called, she said she will not be able to make it tonight. So we will have that at the next meeting. So please.
Mayor, council, just real brief time on that one thing we reported, the big crime stat from the month of October. We were down a little bit, but still pretty busy. Now the winter months are coming on, our call volumes should start tapering off until about Christmas. And then our burglary calls and stealing calls start picking back up. The total cost of service was $1,589. 270 traffic stops. We were 28 accidents, 23 burglaries, 45 disturbance, 27 domestic calls, and then we also had 1,353 citizen assist calls with those two cover Squad 51 being called while they came to our dispatch center. So all those calls came to our 911 center. Other than that, that's all I have for council unless you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great.
Mayor, council members, I think the last council meeting we discussed our 916 loader. That's excuse my voice, it's been going downhill since lunch. Our 916 loader that I discussed the last meeting is now down. The engine's locked up. We spent $6,000 on it last year to have the engine rebuilt. And worst case scenario this time around, $8,000 unless they get in there and there's more wrong than what they anticipate. Right now, they're saying for the crank, rods, pistons, overhaul kit, and everything he can think of might be wrong with it, $8,000. If we get in there and there's other things wrong with it, could be more than that, could possibly be less. I think at one time Gerald had talked to someone, what they tell you, the
Worth
loader's
about
on
$5
worth about $5,000. And we've already put more than that in it. I did do some calling around today. Right now at Fabic in Cape, they have got one on the lot comparable to what we've got for $170,000. That is on the government bid, state bid. We can get it for that. If we wait till next year, it'll be higher. when the new ones come in. I think he did say this was a 23, but he does have it now. And the other place to talk to has nothing. They don't know when they can get one. It's one of those, who knows things.
We'll just have to check and see if we've got the 170.
Does it all need to come out of street, or does this equipment get used for stormwater?
We could use a little bit probably for transportation, because we use it to clean the snow off the streets. We use it to help when we cut the streets off, cut the grass off the streets, we use it to pick up the grass. So a little bit could come out of transportation. Not really much for stormwater. We use a backhoe and excavator mostly for stormwater.
All right.
So it would have to be a little bit of transportation and somewhere else on that. We're pouring some concrete on Commerce Drive right now. We're gonna try to get that finished up. We're gonna pour some tomorrow, try to get some finished up next week. That's probably gonna be all the concrete we're gonna do this year, because it's starting to get cold. Getting a little bit hard to get concrete. Of course, it might get easier when everybody quits pouring it, but it'll be a little cold by then for us too. We have put the wood chipper in service and been using it a little bit, so when we shut down on concrete, we're gonna start trimming a lot of trees and using that wood chipper, putting it in good use. That's all we've got for the street department, unless y'all have any questions. Just one more thing on that loader. That is one of probably the most used piece of equipment we've got. We use it loading our trucks, pushing up our piles, pushing our concrete pile out the dump. It is used every day for something. Probably the only piece of equipment that is used every day. That's it.
Yeah, we need to close it.
Yeah, we do need a closed meeting.
Okay, Storm.
We've asked, Keith has asked Terry to write a letter to the individuals that are still left their fences in the way out there at the subdivision out there in
Bo Ryan.
Yeah, Bo Ryan, thank you. And we're getting to the point where we have to be very serious about it, because we need to get it done before winter months come. And we're kind of expecting things to pick up a little bit in terms of drainage and such. So that'll be going on and letting them know that we're very serious about moving things. And it includes everybody's name, address, the whole works, if you investigate them.
Yeah, I'll get that to Terry. I've got the addresses, but I can get the names.
Okay, all right, thank you. Go ahead.
We had a stormwater meeting the other night, and the committee has okayed to buy an F-250 pickup for stormwater maintenance. It'll be used to do the clean around our outfalls and do our checks that we have to do. They also okayed to buy a dissolved oxygen meter and a pH meter that we're gonna have to be using occasionally to, Victor probably knows more about this, he here? How often we have to do that? Check that occasionally?
Yes, yes, and anytime there's a illicit discharge, it'll have to be checked.
So they okay to buy those? I think one of them's around $600, the other one's around $500 or $600 to get a mid-range one.
And all that's coming out of stormwater?
That's all coming out of stormwater truck also. That'll be used for maintenance on the ditches around the bypass and everything else. So,
We'll have the signage of stormwater on it also.
yes, it will be stormwater. Pretty much all it to be used for is stormwater maintenance and upkeep. That's all that we have for stormwater, if y'all don't have any questions. So thank y'all.
Thank you.
Buster. Have anything for the citizen? Hospital.
I have many conflicting reports on what's going on with that, so I don't have any solid information except to say I'm looking forward to be able to call a hospital committee meeting when we have some information that seems to be truthful.
Okay. Alright, I don't think we have anything under unfinished. So, the first one is the, ordinance for in-city fire billing.
You all have a copy of it. First reading is an ordinance authorizing the fire department to charge fees for emergency calls inside the city limits. And emergency calls, fire calls,
The medical calls.
medical calls, anything.
What's the
I
fee?
mean, if the,
How much will be the fee?
that's,
It'll be determined.
that'll be determined by the fire department.
We had discussed 1,000 as the maximum, 250 is the minimum, but that was.
But
discussed.
the ordinance is just to authorize the charge fees.
Without a limit?
The ordinance is just without a limit, but y'all need to set a limit.
So, I do believe Lance at the last.
Yeah.
Chief Davis at the last meeting brought up the, 250 to 1,000 was, so max would be $1,000.
Is that what the surrounding towns are doing, or are we gonna be
Surrounding towns have a tax.
So, that
Property
was,
tax.
so that was his recommendation. And then one of the things that can happen is that, Chief Wilson and Chief Davis will be bringing up and talking about the safety tax that'll be going on to, this, April's ballot. And with that could do away with this.
Purpose of that amount though was to.
Not to have exorbitant fees.
Right, and also to make sure whatever insurance companies paid for that